worse than they were this time. We're now 3 years into an occupation by the most powerful industrial nation, and Iraqis still have less than 8 hours of electricity a day.
How about 4?
Or around, it's more like around 4 for a lot of the provinces. So yeah, Iraqis in Baghdad, who probably have it best, have less than 8 hours, and it's not in a row. It's a few hours here, a few hours there, and like she said, in a lot of places it's even worse than that, only a couple hours. And this is a real problem. Also, the water situation is really bad. Cholera and other waterborne diseases are becoming rampant because the water treatment systems haven't been repaired. And it's just clear that this is a matter of priorities, that the U.S. priority is not rebuilding Iraq, but obviously to further destroying it. House raids and house occupations common in both Palestine and Iraq, where they raid and arrest people, often forcing their family into one room, holding them there for a long time. House occupation where they use a house as a military base, sometimes forcing the family out. In Palestine, we see it them force the family into one room for up to days at a time, not letting them leave, not often denying them food and water and medicine, and then looting. I talked to a U.S. soldier who told me policy on looting was if the item is greater than $10,000, then they have to get permission from their commander. Otherwise, they can take whatever they want. And of course, the Iraqi troops are really bad about this as well. So there's lots of just essentially armed thugs in Iraqi police uniforms, raiding people's houses, taking whatever they want, abusing people, you know, and then leaving. The random detention. 9,000 Palestinians are held in Israeli detention facilities, largely without trial or charges. And torture is enshrined in Israeli law. Torture and abuse is common throughout Israeli detention facilities. In Iraq, it's 12,000 Iraqis held in U.S. and now Iraqi detention facilities, facing ongoing torture and abuse. Despite the scandals, despite the media attention, we're still getting enormous reports of torture and abuse in these prison facilities. Of course, like Palestine, we see mass popular resistance to the occupation of Iraq. Every week, major demonstrations, mass nonviolent protests against checkpoints, against the lack of water and electricity, against the detentions, you know, against the house raids, against the occupation in general. We don't hear anything about it in our media. And we especially don't hear about the violent repression of these nonviolent demonstrations, like we see in Israel: beatings, tear gas, mass arrests, rubber bullets, but a much more greater use of live gunfire. Yet, if you can believe it, U.S. troops opened fire on these unarmed demonstrators. Hundreds of Iraqis have been killed, unarmed Iraqis, while demonstrating in these mass popular demonstrations. Thousands more injured. And these are ongoing, amazing acts of resistance and evidence that Iraqis really do believe in democracy and want democracy, but it's the U.S. imperial forces that are preventing that. We work closely with a group called the Muslim Peacemaker Teams. It's a group of Shia from the south who approach Christian peacemaker teams and ask them to form a little association. They are faith-based Iraqis who organize nonviolent resistance to the U.S. occupation, as well as are working to build relationships between Sunni and Shia to try and lessen this divide and conquer strategy of the U.S. This was pictures from a joint action we did together in Fallujah. With the largely Sunni city of Fallujah, these Shia peacemakers went through the checkpoints controlled by Shia Iraqi government forces with American activists, and we spent the day cleaning up the city. It's right there in the orange jumpsuits there. And also the Shia peacemakers all prayed together with the Sunnis in Fallujah to demonstrate that